Welcome to the Where's the Finish podcast. We are three runners talking to our friends, sharing stories about running, training, life, and asking the essential question, where's the finish? WTF.
Welcome to Where's the Finish podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Shae.
And today with us, we have our very special guest, Casey.
Nice to be here, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming in tonight. We really appreciate you having us having you here. Really excited to talk about some of your recent race adventures. And many of us probably spent a lot of time, I know I did, doing the dot watch with you recently because you just completed the Cocodona.
I did, yeah, about 10 days or so ago.
Woo!
Nice.
So dude, you've just been tearing up the trail for the last year, 2 years or so. Been doing some fantastic stuff. I mean, so I met you, less than a year ago when you did the Across Florida 200, right?
Yeah, I think the first time we met was when I paced Paula Sawyer.
Yeah, so that was like September.
Oh, okay.
October.
Where'd you pace her from?
Gosh, where'd I pace her? The Clay Road, Long Clay Road. About half of that, yeah.
Highway to Hell.
Yeah, and then near the river out there, the Dam Diner, that area.
Rodman Dam.
Yeah, Rodman Dam.
Yeah.
No, not quite Rodman. The
Right before you get to Clay Road,
Moss
right?
Bluff.
yeah, Moss
Bluff.
There you go.
Okay.
Moss
Yeah,
Bluff.
so he parked at Moss Bluff, did the entire levee section above the canal there through Moss Bluff, and then went out the highway to hell with her and spent some time all the way out to the campground.
Oh.
To the
Yeah,
ATV
Big Scrub.
campground.
Big Scrub.
Oh, Big Scrub.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So and little did I know at that time he was really kind of scouting out his opportunity at doing it.
Yeah, that was a bad spot to scout, though. That
Yeah.
you don't want to do that Clay Road more than once.
No. God, that's awful.
So Casey, tell us a little bit about how you started into running. I mean, what brought you into the ultra scene and trail running, and how in the world did you do this crazy stuff?
Oh man. So it kind of starts back in high school. So I started, I played baseball, and the baseball coach required you to play a sport in the fall. I didn't play football, didn't play basketball. So he was actually also the cross country coach. So he said, if you don't play any other sports, you have to run cross country. So I was forced to run cross country in high school. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. Hated it's only a 5K, but hated every practice, hated every single thing about it.
The thing I hear most about kids who do cross country is they go and they hide while they should be practicing.
Yeah, they go run in the woods and hide.
They go run in the woods and hide and then pretend like they did the whole run they were supposed to.
I never hid, but I will tell you there was a meet one time, and it was like 3 loops or something, and we were so far behind that they thought we were on the last loop, so they directed us into the finish line.
Yeah.
We actually finished like mid-pack or something. and then the coach runs over like, no, they're not done yet. We got in a little trouble for that one, but it didn't bother me a whole lot that I skipped out on the last mile or whatever it was. So, but yeah, I mean, I hated it back then. Took like 20 years off. Fast forward to, maybe a little running here and there, nothing fancy, but fast forward to COVID. And a friend of mine was doing an event, and he's like, listen, can you come and, train with me and do some running and stuff? I'm like, yeah, okay. I have nothing better to do because COVID's going on. So we ran like half a mile, and I'm like, dude, this I don't know. This is as bad as I remember. It was horrible. Ran half a mile, walked half a mile, ran half a mile, walked half a mile until I got like 3 miles or something in.
That's how I run now.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I run. That's how I enjoy trail running.
Man, I think COVID brought more people to running than any other period in time in history that I can think of. I mean, it might have been a big time like in the 70s where...
Yeah, with the boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where there's a big running boom. But since then, I mean, everyone I know, it seems like that started running around COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I did that, and then I'm like, hey, this is hard. I like challenging stuff. I like being outside. So I'm like, well, what do runners do? They run marathons. So the first thing I did was started training for a marathon. 2020 actually, I ran Space Coast Marathon.
Nice.
That was my first marathon. I also hated that because it was all on the road, and I'm like, this sucks. My feet hurt, and it just wasn't.
What was your time?
Wasn't my cup. It was like a lot. That's my time.
Oh, okay.
Cool. It was a lot of hours. Yeah. I think it was like 5.5 or something.
That's good. Yeah.
I hit the wall at like mile 14.
Well, I feel good about my 5.5 hour finish there now. I'm like, well, if I can handle guys like Casey, I mean, there might be hope for me out there.
All right, sign up for Cocodona right now. You can do it.
It's funny because everybody's like, oh, you hit the wall at mile 22, mile like 13, 14.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Boom. Like, that's it. Like, it was a long day.
Wow.
But I still enjoyed the challenge behind it.
So you hated it was it because it's road running? You just don't like road running, or you didn't know, or was it because it was fat? What about it made you not like it?
The road running more than anything.
So when did you discover trails then? So
I was doing some hiking up in North Georgia, and there's actually a guy that ran, can't remember the name of the mountain, Trey Mountain actually. So there's a trail runner that was local to there, and he ran up Trey Mountain. I'm like, interesting. People run.
People can do that?
People really run up these trails. And I'm carrying backpacking, carrying a 30, 40 pound pack, and he's running. I'm like, interesting. He's covering a lot more ground than I am. And he looks like he's having fun. So a trail run, that's interesting. And we talked about it a little bit here and there. And, I Googled it and didn't think a whole lot more of it. And then eventually I, got out and went to Santos once or twice, ran some trails there. I'm like, this is pretty cool. It's almost like a kid, you're literally running through the woods. How much more childlike can you be?
I can tell you how much more. You can run naked.
Ooh.
I don't know.
We have that discussion.
Yeah.
Not coming up here soon.
So I see, obviously I follow you on Strava.
Right.
And I just got a gripe. Okay.
Oh, I knew this was coming.
Here it is. All right. So there's a section of the trail that we're gonna have to divide and conquer here, because you keep stealing local legend from me. and I'm not saying we're gonna have a problem, but we both can't be local legends in the same section. So you gotta pick a section and I'll pick a section, okay? You can zippity doo day and I'll zippity doo da or something. All right?
Yeah.
You know what? I personally, I would not listen to Kevin. I would go whoop him every time I had the opportunity.
Okay, let me tell you about this local legend thing. This is how I first met James Mathis in person, because there was this local legend and he kept taking it from me and I would try and take it back. Well, as we were kind of becoming friends, I met him. Hey, you're that person. I went out and I did it 10 times back and forth. It was like a quarter-mile section or something like that, just so I could maintain that local legend status.
That's great. Okay, I'm not doing that, but we can divide and conquer here.
The good thing is I'm not training for anything right now.
Okay,
so
great.
Go out there.
Nice.
Have at it. If I'm training for something though,
Yeah, I'm fucked. Okay.
I don't know, man.
So next couple months,
if
I'm
I'm
good?
training for something, I can just scroll the local legends. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And then 90 days later, I have no local legends. So don't worry.
Okay.
So prior to you going into when I met you, the Across Florida 200, what other races had you done? Because I don't remember you saying that your race history was not real long.
No, it's still not real long. So after that marathon, I did long haul 2022, I believe, was the first long haul I did. Yeah, 2022.
How'd you do there?
30 hours.
That's
and
good.
change.
Yeah, that's great.
And
First
then-
100 mile?
So you went
Yeah,
from a
first one.
marathon to 100 mile.
Yes.
in 2 years, though.
Yeah. First out of the gate was a 100 miler. So,
Yeah.
and then after that, when I
Did you do any ultra run, 30-mile runs, 50-mile runs as part of your training?
Yeah, I did a couple. I did a lot of training. When I train for something, it's when I have something on the schedule, it's almost all consuming. At least in the mornings when I block something off, I'm going to do this. I'm going to train as hard as I can. Everything I need to do, I'm going to do, and it almost becomes it's almost all consuming, truthfully. But so I'd done a 30-mile run, a 50-mile run. I think I did even a 60-mile run leading up to the 100-miler. And a lot of that for me is hey, if I can do 50 or 60, I think I can grit out the last 40. So it's just one of those psychological things. If I can do this, I think I can finish the rest of it. So I did the 100-miler. First one was long haul. After that, I did an Ironman up in Panama City, which was it was fun. I really enjoyed that, but it's a different group of people. Different.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Different,
Yep.
It's a different type
Different
of
animal.
person. Different
Yeah.
animal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it came back
8
to the
stations, not as good.
not as good, and there's a lot of it's a different type of person. The community's not quite as there's a lot of support and stuff, but the community's not there. It's not, and it's not.
Everyone kind of live for themselves here and there.
Oh yeah,
probably.
for sure. Yeah, everybody's for themselves.
Well, it sounds very self-centered type of sport.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
All running is self-centered.
Well, I don't know. I love to give back to running. I can say that there's probably some of these other sports that they don't give back nothing. They only take.
Yeah.
I've seen that in sport where people only consume the sport. They don't give anything back to it.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not a knock on the triathlon community at all or Ironman at all. And I'll go back and I'll definitely do more at some point. But it's just a different feel, different type of event.
What about like, because I just listened to another podcast where a podcaster was talking about, with the Ironman stuff, the competition for like equipment, like people would look down their nose at you if you didn't have the $8,000 bike,
right.
And things like that. There was like the kind of equipment whores,
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of judgmental types in it and stuff. I mean, I could care less. So, I mean, I got a used bike off Facebook and I ran it, I drove it just as good as everybody else drove theirs. So, I didn't, place or anything like that, but I finished just like everybody else did. So I wasn't worried about it. I'm that type to really concern myself with other people's opinions anyhow. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. But
So after Ironman? Yep.
After Ironman, went back to long haul, did long haul again.
Nice.
And I think
Last year? You did long haul last year?
not this past year, the year before.
Okay.
Yeah, not this year.
He didn't do the Mud Fest.
No.
Didn't do the Mud
He
Fest.
came out and visited though, and looked at all the people as they suffered. I seen him out there.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed watching everybody suffer.
23, was that the super cold, or 22 was the super cold year?
22 was the winter rain. It was a tornado year.
Wet year.
Oh, that
Then-
was where our aid station blew down.
Yes, likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 23 was the cold year. That
23 was the cold
That
year.
was a year that I went out with you and worked the aid station,
Volunteer.
and the moisture froze onto us like frost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I remember 22, I was I usually work the main hub overnight at the old place, and at about 4 a.m., all the tents just went.
Yeah.
I know my voice is going out. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was my first.
Drink some beer.
That was my first intro into ultra running. Is 22 at long haul, and I remember that. My buddy's like, "Hey, like, there's a storm coming." I'm like, "It'll be all right. I got a rain jacket." Like the rain jacket was soaked through in like 3 minutes. I remember looking up. There's a palm frond completely vertical flying across the trail in front of me. And then I like go to there's a porta potty. I'm like, I'm gonna take refuge. And there's like already 2 people in the porta potty. I'm like, oh god.
Didn't you learn anything from Jurassic Park? You never hide in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, and I couldn't. So, but I kept going, and I remember like the sun was coming up, and I was just like shaking like a jackhammer. I was so cold, so wet. And of course, the next year, the cold year, once the sun came up the following morning, I kept looking down. I'm like, why is there sand everywhere? Like, this is weird. Like some sort of weird hallucination. It's actually like ice that was on the ground, that had formed overnight. I'm like, oh, it's ice. Like, okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm like, that's weird.
Where'd that come from?
What is this shit in Florida?
Yeah, right? Like, why is there ice here? So, yeah, so long haul, Ironman, long haul, and then last November, end of November, I did the Cross Florida 200.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
Yeah, that's our jam.
Yeah, we love
That's our jam. So
Lots of changes coming to that race, I hear. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Really, I'm not sure. I've spent so much time in the last year or so devoting my own personal time to helping people with the Across Florida. I really got attached to the format in which it was operating with the virtual.
Well, then you're the one person that can really answer it. You did a virtual 200 miler,
Yep.
and now you've done one of the most produced 250 miler.
Yep.
which is better?
I like them both for their own reasons.
That's
I plead the fifth.
That's kind of the way I'm leaning on the Across Florida 200 also, because like I love it this way that it already is, and I think it's adventurous. I think it's cool that people can go out and do it with their own support, and at their own pace, and it's much cheaper. But I think it adds a level of adventure to the race.
But then here's the problem. Somebody from out of state, I know a couple people that the fact it's like that is prohibitive because they would have to bring so much stuff.
And I do think that having it as an actual race, because that's the way it was designed in the first place, it just never really took off. Maybe it would open it up to other runners that would not do it in the first place.
I think personally, I'm selfish. I want it the way that it is and the way that it has been. And I want to be able to interact with each person who's doing it every single time they run through our area. Like, I want to be able to do that, but that's just me being selfish. Cause like, I like this course and I like the race and I want to be involved in it. And that would take something away from me.
Well,
I think
and every single ACFL runner that's come through in the last year, and I've been with every single one, like 14 runners, I consider them all friends now because I got the opportunity to interact with them that way, and I'm going to lose that. So like you're saying, that's kind of selfish.
It is, a little bit.
I think too, it's a good entry level 200 too. Even if you put the logistics aside, once you figure logistics out, for me, if I was to go straight to a 200 with a time crunch and everything else to worry about, I don't know if and we can kind of get into this, but the reason I did across Florida was to prove to myself I could cover 200 miles. And, so backing up a little bit, the last long haul I did, actually my pacer was like, what's next? I'm like, I want to do Cocodona, but I don't know if I can cover 250 miles. So instead, I'm going to do across Florida. If I can get across Florida, then I'll register for Cocodona. So across Florida right now, the way it is virtual, it gives you that, as long as you need to cover that distance. Obviously, there's logistical issues. There's all sorts of other issues with, setting up your crews. Like everything's on you. It's definitely more of an adventure than it is a race, but it allows you to get, from from West Coast to East Coast, gives you the time to do that and to see if you can do it. I mean, so as far as like, the trail itself, it's an easy course. It's hard because it's 200 miles. Don't get me wrong at all, but it's when you compare it to a lot of other 200s that have elevation and everything else, those are very intimidating. So if you're looking to enter a 200, it's probably a good one to enter.
Yeah.
And maybe when it is a full race, maybe that'll be a better option for everybody, depending on how they do the cutoffs, how they do everything else around it. But when you have cutoffs, it gets stressful for people that are entering, long distances.
Well, I know when they had it as the regular, like because they basically had announced it, everything like that, it did have some pretty tight cutoffs. And so I would probably not have tried it if had those cutoffs been there.
Well,
Exactly, yeah.
and I see the popularity of the race increasing as our local runners have gotten involved with helping with the race.
Right.
The race director didn't ask us to do it, something that we saw a need for and wanted to do. And so
that's our home trail.
It's so we started doing it because we wanted to see more people in our area doing this race and wanted to support other trail runners. And the other side of me, the part that I don't like, this part of me, because I don't know, and I'm not saying anything, trying not to say anything negative about the race directors, because I don't know their intentions and I don't know them that well, but I've talked to them individually. But as it has become popular because of our local involvement, it almost feels like, are we grabbing for money? Okay, now this thing is taken off and people are getting interested about it. And now we need to turn it back into a race again. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know that that's the case, but I don't know. Well,
I'm thinking more of it's like, this is what it was originally intended to be. So they're kind of
there's
going back
been
to
enough
that.
testers on the course.
But even if that was the case, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that either, because maybe
they're going to offer both.
Race directors are in the business of directing races.
At the same time, though, a 200 mile, they have to have much larger numbers to make money off of it. To be able to add the support to a 200 miler, that's a big endeavor.
Oh yeah,
and there's a lot that goes into that. You're not talking just typical aid station snacks and stuff like that. You're talking full blown meals, sleep stations. You're talking a lot that goes into it.
There's a lot of money, logistics.
So you have to have dozens and dozens of more runners to even think about making money off
it. And
it.
if anyone can do it, the group that is going to do that race could handle it.
For sure. Absolutely.
And they would do a great job. I have no doubt that those gentlemen would put together a great race.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm conflicted. I don't know how I feel about it.
Right.
I see both sides.
Let them, as their race, let them make the decision what they want to do, and I'm going to try to support it any way I can, because the trail doesn't change.
That's right.
Exactly.
The race doesn't change.
So if Where's the Finish podcast can help them with staffing an aid station or providing crew and support or pacers, we'll do what we can.
Right. Exactly.
Because those needs aren't going away. People are still going to want crew. People are still going to want pacers. They're going to have stationary aid stations, that are going to have to be staffed. So things are going to, there's ways to get involved, and hopefully, that happen. If it changes the race format, we'll be able to still stay involved that way.
Exactly. And to take a step back too, Cross Florida is not an easy race. I didn't mean to say that, but compared to a lot of the other 200s, it is probably it's a good step up for a lot of people entering the race. But if you're looking for Cross Florida, it's a difficult race.
I think a lot of our races are sleepers. Especially people that, I'm a mountain runner. I'm from California. I'm from Colorado. I'm from up north, and they think they're going to come to Florida because they're good at elevation and think they're going to kick the butt out of our races. And that's not necessarily the case.
Right, exactly.
Because the races are different. They're not less hard. They're just different.
Exactly. And if you're from Florida, you're used to it like I am, it's going to be, it's a much easier transition to a 200, because I train on these trails every day. Like Shae trains on the same trails, like in the same, they go across Florida.
I'm not going to underestimate a mountain race. I know that if I'm going to go run a mountain race, that I'm going to have to work my butt off because I'm a Floridian and I'm in the flatlands, and I'm going to have to get some elevation training, and I'm going to have to be strong. in reverse of that, someone that's in the mountains that are really good at mountain races may not put that same kind of thought into coming to Florida to do a race and thinking, I need to prepare for the race because, I'm a mountain racer. I'm already really good. But they don't have the heat. They don't have the elevation. I mean, they don't have the humidity. They don't have the freaking sugar sand that we have. Yep. There's a lot of things, continuously using the same muscles versus climbing up, climbing down, and varying your muscles. I mean, there's just things that are different.
Absolutely.
You know?
Definitely.
So the race we did this weekend, the Arbuckle ankle biter, was one that Ultras put on, and I'll probably talk about that some more in maybe another podcast. But that was a sleeper race, so I'm really excited to talk about that one and promote that one some more because they're out there. They're really, you don't think they're hard until you're on them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
So you did ACFL. What was your time?
80.
He beat me by like 2 hours.
81
It's really
hours?
funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. What was your sleep like? How that?
It was a lot better there than it was at Cocodona.
Yeah.
And we can get into Cocodona.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah.
But it was pretty good. I mean, I think I went through the first night. The next afternoon, I slept 40 minutes. Went through a 15, 20-mile section, slept another 40 minutes. Then I went through the forest with 1 or 2 dirt naps, slept at Rodman Dam, and that was it. So I think I had maybe 3 hours of sleep.
Shae pulled up the ACFL stats
Yeah,
for
you
last
beat me
year.
by like maybe an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Now, question, did you see my time? You're like, let me see if I can beat him.
No,
Okay, you didn't look at all.
She didn't pay no attention to
No,
anyone else's time.
No,
Yeah,
I sleep.
The only time I paid attention to other people's time is after I finished.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's see. And like Hunter, when he just like blew through it, and like Jeff Osa, when he was blowing through it too. Like, maybe watch these guys, see what they do. And more so, it's like a learning thing to me. It's like, how do other people approach?
Let me tell you,
It's like there's so much to learn. Everybody's different.
this fall is lining up to be a really exciting season for the Across Florida 200. I'm not going to have enough time to take off to help everybody because there's
a lot of
so
people
many
doing it.
people signing up
Is
this
there?
year. Oh yeah,
The entrance list is not public, is it?
no,
Okay.
no, but
And then the results don't get published till the end of the year.
Right.
yeah. So, I keep up with it. So I talk to people and I find out through the grapevine and other ways of who's running. And the list is getting pretty long. And
See, and that's just even in a virtual way. Imagine if it was fully supported.
yeah. So, it's going to be a really competitive year. There's several people that are going to do it as groups. And several of those groups may all start on the same day.
Wow. Okay.
That's cool.
That sounds like we got work to do.
So it might actually turn into racing versus just doing it. I don't think there's been a year where the Across Florida was air quoting a race.
Right.
People were going out and doing 200 miles, but we're going to have some people out there that might be racy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll be fun to see. I enjoy watching. I mean, just knowing every section of trail and having done it myself.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
cool to see people like, hey, this section is really hard. Like, what are they doing? Are they sleeping there? Like, it's really neat to like follow along.
We called Blue Dot Watch.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Blue Dot Watch.
Yeah.
Always.
I will say, if any of our listeners want a really in-depth, detailed report on how the Across Florida race went down, go and listen to the Florida Trail Runners podcast. Joe Fuller and I interviewed Casey last fall after he did his race, and there is a really good race interview, and Casey really goes into detail about that race. So please go in and support that podcast also, and download that episode and listen to it. It's a really good one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I enjoyed recording that one too.
So
And then I have a stupid long race report. If anybody wants to read it too, on my website.
yeah.
And you can download the audio and listen to it, so you don't have to read it.
I just commented TLDR.
TLDR, exactly.
So you after the Across Florida 200, I guess you then signed up for Cocodona.
Yeah.
What was your training like?
How?
Yeah,
It was a lot. So obviously Cocodona, they're pretty well known for their live streams and stuff.
Yeah.
All this stuff is recorded and it goes on YouTube. And that was one of the best things that they ever did, because I spent, I would say, 80% of my time training on a treadmill. Actually, I climbed 250,000 feet, 250,000 feet on my treadmill over the course of 15 weeks. And it's from
Holy
me
cow.
to the wall, looking at the live stream from last year, which was kind of neat, because it's almost like, like athletes review like game film or whatever. It's like, hey, this section, for the first day, have all these athletes going through this section. So it's kind of cool to see as I'm training that, this is a tough section. This is where, this is how people are resetting their packs. This is what people are doing here. It's just kind of neat to see it. Not only did it, help the time go by faster because, just being on the treadmill all day is not all that fun, but so it gave me something to watch, but also a learning experience. But I would say 80% was on the treadmill. On top of that, I did a lot of stair climber stuff. And then the rest of it was just on trails and stuff. Did a lot of weight training and stuff too. I entered this race. So I entered across Florida. I think like 170 pounds. I'm at 185 when I entered Cocodona. So I intentionally put extra weight on my body just so I could climb the mountains more or less and have more for reserves and stuff.
Yeah, one of our other guests, Andrew Kelly, he was on the podcast with us, was out there doing that too. And so I got to know two people running it personally.
Right,
I got to follow along. That was kind of exciting. And both of you guys had ladies out there with you that were posting on social media for you too.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So I really appreciated that your girlfriend was putting stuff on social media that we could kind of follow your journey with you.
Yeah, she was really the only communication that I had to the outside world, because like you're doing this race and you're so ingrained in this race that you don't want to think about anything else. I had email autoresponders on, like my voice message said, "Hey, I'll call you next week," that kind of stuff. So there, I was really so focused on the race. And the thing that's interesting about it too was like when I did cross Florida, somebody could text me, like, okay, I can text them back because I'm walking. Out there, like if you look at your phone, like you're in a face plant because there's so many rocks that you're trying to step over and stuff. The entire time you have to focus on every single step, otherwise you'll face plant. So I got a lot of text messages and stuff that I would respond to at aid stations and whatnot. But yeah, I put my girlfriend Jenna in charge of the social media. I said, hey, like I'm just going to send you updates. You can update my family, my friends, like just post online. They'll see it. That's all I get. Sorry. And she did a good job. But it's also nice to be able to go look back at the chronological order of like how my race went. According to like social media.
No, she was fantastic, man. She really put some real information out there. And I could tell that she became part of the journey with you. And I think she experienced that race just as much as you experienced it, just from a different way.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Is she a runner too?
Yeah, she's a marathoner. Yeah.
Nice.
Doesn't do a whole lot of trail stuff, but does marathons.
Yeah.
And and we can, as we get deeper into the race, it gets uglier and uglier.
Let's go. We want the juice.
Yeah.
So we'll start off the first 50K. Basically, the race directors warn you that this is a really, really hard section. And Era Viper Running, they're the company that puts it on out there. They're a phenomenal company. I mean, I don't know if you've ever run any of their races, but they're a phenomenal company. They want their racers to do well, their athletes to do well. They want to provide you as much information as possible. And every single section from one aid station to the next, they have elevation charts and a whole description about what to expect. So you can read from one section to the next. The aid stations are just like top notch, like great cuisine. They're all catered. I mean, it's a really, really well run race, but it's still a very, very difficult race. But they also have these updates that they put on YouTube leading up to the race. They start a couple months out, and they'll tell you, hey, this section right here, the first 50K, if this was a standalone 50K, it would probably be one of the hardest in the country. And they say, do not underestimate this at all because it's knocked a lot of people out of the race. And basically what it is, it's completely exposed. It goes from the Sonora Desert to the Bradshaw Mountains. So it's like, I think it's 11,500 feet over the course of like 25, 26 miles.
Wow.
And then it kind of drops down into Crown King. But it's also completely exposed. So it's like, you're out in the middle of nowhere. And I was telling a buddy about it. I'm like, just imagine you're on a really, really steep hill, and they've taken a dump truck full of all different sized rocks and just dumped it down that hill. And they're like, okay, run up it now. And that's basically what it was. So you're you're literally on rocks. And about 1 in 3 of the rocks would move on you. So it was that first day was extremely challenging.
So you pulled out the trekking poles from the first step of the race, didn't you?
Pretty much.
So did you practice with those much when you were here in Florida?
Yeah, I did a little bit. I would say, I don't know, maybe for the last week leading up to it, I probably put 20 miles with the trekking poles.
Yeah. I mean, we never have gotten a chance to run with you because you run pretty
Way
much
too fast
by yourself.
I'm a loner, so
at odd times of the day and night too, because you got a kid, right?
I do. Yep.
And you take care of your kid, and you have to schedule your training around that, right?
Yeah. So I have a 10-year-old, and he's with me the majority of the time, and so every other weekend he'll go to his mom's house, and I'll get some long runs in. But generally speaking, he's my responsibility until he gets off to school. Then I'll train, and then he goes to when he's done with school, he'll come home. And sometimes I'll train at night. Sometimes I'll do other stuff at nights. But usually I'll try to squeeze everything in the morning. And then I'll work, while he's sleeping and that kind of stuff if I need to make up work time. So
Yeah, I think so. What I've heard from some Florida trail runners is either they went to a mountain race and didn't take trekking poles and did not know that they needed them, or they didn't use them prior to the race and had no idea how to use them when they got there. And that's usually like a big downfall for like our Florida runners going to a race with elevation.
No, they were my number one favorite tool that I had out there for sure.
What kind of trekking poles did you use? Do you remember?
Lucky.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, and the Lucky has the little loop, little grip
Yep.
that slides on, which are like phenomenal to use. But I used them so much, I was so much pressure. Actually, both of my Lucky gloves had ripped by the time I got to Mount Eldon, which was the last climb.
Oh, the mean one.
Yeah, so luckily I was able to rig them and kind of make them work. But yeah, I mean, they're like falling apart by the time I got there. So I got to get new gloves. But nonetheless, the trekking poles were, yeah, I mean, and in the section guide too, it says, hey, after a mile or 2 miles, you probably want to pull your trekking poles out. And sure enough, like it started climbing. And I remember like when we started climbing, I'm like, oh gosh, this is really hard. I'm like mile 2 at this point. I'm like, this is really hard. We're in like a Congo line too, because there's, 250 runners, 270 runners that started somewhere in that ballpark. And it goes from double track, like a dirt road, to single track. And as you start climbing up, everybody pulls the trekking poles out, and like we're starting to get on these rocks and stuff. I'm like, this is really, really hard. So kind of get to the top of the climb. There's actually a gentleman that we were leapfrogging each other back and forth and back and forth. And as you get to the top, it gets super steep to the point where you're taking like 20 steps. And you're like, okay, I need to, bend over and catch my breath. And then another guy would pass me back and forth. So finally he's like, hey man, let's introduce himself. He's like, let's team up and finish this together. Like, let's just keep pushing each other. I'm like, sure, that's great, man. So we end up climbing that. We get to the first aid station, and he's like puking. My stomach is like all messed up because it was so hot outside.
Yeah. What were you feeling? What were you feeling with?
I usually use Scratch,
Okay.
and just like random snacks and stuff. I'm a big like whole food.
Yeah, snacks.
Yeah, I love snacks. I can't do gels or anything like that.
Me either. Yeah. You like Bob's Pickle Pops?
I've never had one.
Well, today's your lucky
We
day.
are sending you home with some Bob's Pickle Pops. You might have to save them for when you start training again or when you're really feeling it.
Yeah, I'm a big pickle guy though.
Oh,
shit.
man. Okay. Well, we're
So
sending you home with
across
some.
Florida, like actually out at Rodman Dam, a friend of mine came out, a friend of mine was pacing me. His wife came out to pick him up, and she brings like these pickles. She's like, "You want a pickle?" I'm like, "Yeah." And it was like I hadn't had a pickle in years. I don't think at that point. I just started like cramming pickles down. So now I've got like jars and jars of pickles in my fridge. Like oh gosh.
I found out
love
through our
pickles.
friend Susan that I did not realize that I love McDonald's cheeseburgers.
just a plain cheeseburger.
Just a plain cheeseburger.
Not a
So-
double cheeseburger or
Susan
anything
started
So-
fueling with cheese. Well, Michelle too.
Yeah, so yeah, and Michelle gave me a half a cheeseburger. We were out doing a course preview for my run out the Two Prairies, and I didn't bring any food. I thought I had set it and put in my bag, but I didn't bring anything. So she gave me half a cheeseburger, and I'm like, man, this stuff really agrees with me. So I went and bought 2 of them Friday night to take on my run Saturday.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's great.
Nice.
So anyways, first aid station. Dude,
Yeah, so we had the first aid station, which
Yeah.
is exact, and actually, like, kind of stepping back, Cocodona itself is a really, really cool race. Jamil Curry, the owner of Air Vipa, kind of put this race together, and it's all these trails that go through these mountain towns. And you go, it's like, there's stories behind every single town that you go through.
what city does it start in?
It starts in Black Canyon City, which is just north of Phoenix.
Okay.
And then you're basically in the Sonoran Desert. There's all these different ecosystems and stuff you go through too. I mean, it goes from, we actually had fairly mild temperatures this year, but it could go easily from the teens to upper 90s, depending on, where you're at the time of year and how extreme the temps swing and stuff. But super cool city. We actually end up in a place called Crown King, which is the oldest active saloon in Arizona. And you think Arizona, like back to like cowboy and stuff days, like that's pretty cool. And it's like this little tiny city that you have to take like a 2-hour dirt road trip to in order to get there's the saloon, there's a general store, and like some campsites or
Still got like this swinging wooden doors.
Oh
in the
yeah,
front and
like it's
everything?
like the stuff you see in cowboy movies. It's like
Nice.
really cool.
Yeah, back in the 70s when I was growing up, we had those swinging wooden doors in our trailer.
The first.
I thought I was a cowboy as a 5-year-old.
So the Fairways condos down that way.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first apartment. The kitchen had saloon doors.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I thought I was a cowboy when I was 5. Yeah.
You're still a cowboy, Joe.
Wow, wow, wow.
So like we get there and like it was sponsored by Spring Energy and they had like smoothies for us and stuff and like pick my drop bag up. And that's kind of the point too. Like my feet started, I'm like, oh, my feet kind of hurt a little bit.
And what mile was this roughly?
33.
Okay.
First 50K, yeah.
33,
Okay.
34. And then like the same guy that I met at the top of the climb, it's a guy named Davey. He's out of Connecticut. He's like, hey man, like I've got, because my girlfriend wasn't going to come until Wednesday afternoon. And so I was going crewless first couple of days, which wasn't that big deal. I had drop bags and stuff I could use. Like, hey, my crew, we want to help you out. Like, why don't you come hang out with us until your girlfriend gets here?
So did you get out there early to get some acclimation in or some training in before the race?
I got there Saturday morning. The race started Monday morning.
Okay.
I got 1 2-mile run in.
Okay.
That was it. Just went all in.
Helicopter
Full
landed.
send. Yeah.
No, helicopter landed 15 minutes before the race started.
right.
Get out the helicopter, walk to the start line.
What was the highest elevation you reached during that race?
I think it's 9,700.
Oh, that's pretty high. So did you feel the effects of the elevation any?
Well, that was mile 240, so I felt the effects of everything.
You didn't feel anything at that point. Just-
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I was
felt
feeling a lot of
everything
effects.
but nothing
Exactly.
at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it didn't matter. He just felt bad.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt bad and ready to be done at that point.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so like this guy, he's like, hey, my crew wants to help. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be stuck with somebody for the next 3 or 4 days. But long story short, he had an awesome crew. He had like a fire captain out of Phoenix that was his crew chief. And one of the guys he was that was also a crew member and pacer had finished Cocodona twice, Badwater finisher, just like a legit motivational speaker.
Oh,
Like, that's what he
damn.
does for a living. I'm like, okay, like sure,
you
they can
don't
help
know me, son.
Yeah. And he was like really in tune with like us when he was pacing us too. Cause like, I'm like, okay, I can basically get a free crew, free pacer until my girlfriend gets here. And of course, like I was helping him, the other runner, go through the night and stuff too. So we kind of worked together. And I'm somewhat of an introvert, especially when it comes to like trails. Like I usually train alone. I usually strategize alone. I usually run races alone. So it's kind of new to me, but it worked out because that's a really, really long ways to go, especially if you're alone. But yeah, so we just kept kind of.
You know, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it all alone.
I know, but
I got some really good trail runners right here in the same city
Yeah.
where you live.
most of them don't run at 10 o'clock in the morning though. Like,
Well, if you
No.
During the
invite
week.
some of us, we might.
Yeah, we probably would. Yeah.
You know,
well, you know where I run, Kevin. Just find me on Strava. Like,
I only find you on Strava when you take away my local legend. That's the only time I see you.
But yeah, I mean, it was that was basically the first day. And then we kind of dropped down and had a little nap there and stuff. And, after that, it was just a lot of like mountain climbs, mountain towns, went up Mingus Mountain. And, back to the climbing on the treadmill thing. I mean, if somebody's like looking to go to a mountain race and you live in Florida and you have a treadmill, the treadmill I actually got was it's a Nordic Track incline trainer. So it goes up to 40%.
Oh, you got the 40.
Yeah, actually, I bought it. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace for like $400 or something.
No
Like-
way.
Like 3-4 years ago.
What?
And there was like 37 miles on it when I got it. Yeah,
That's
so like
insane.
It's like, I mean, it's such a good training tool.
February is
Yeah.
the best time to buy a treadmill.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because the New Year's
Yep.
people don't want them no more.
That's right.
It's an expensive coat hanger.
Yeah,
I bought
it
one
goes
time.
to 14 or 15%. My friend Jada, she also did Cocodona, and she did all of her training on treadmill.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean,
There's-
I would like if you're in a flat area. Now it's not going to train your feet. Like your feet are going to get all chewed up. But like I was climbing, and like a lot of people were like noticeably like how are you climbing so good? Like you're from Florida, you're not supposed to be able to climb. Like, but I mean, I was really, really confident in my climbs. My heart rate wasn't spiking. I was out climbing a lot of people that live in mountain areas, just because I don't know, it wasn't overtrained, but I was very, very well trained on the treadmill at like 18, 20, 22%. Like, and I was doing a lot carrying a pack and stuff too.
What kind of mile per hour? Like, what were you doing? What was your pace at
I just
20%?
a lot of it was power hiking. Where I do like interval stuff. I
Okay.
would go like my interval would be like
You getting like a mile, 2 miles, 3
like
miles?
2.5 miles an hour to like 4 miles an hour would be like
Okay.
if at
Yeah.
22%, 4 miles an hour is like that's
Yeah, you're
pretty good.
moving.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been on some pretty steep mountains hiking where if I got 2 miles an hour, I was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So it was steep.
Yep. Yeah, and it got to that point too. Like Mount Eldon at the very end of the race was, I think it was like a 45-minute mile is what we ended up at.
Yeah.
But yeah, the treadmill training thing. I mean, I highly recommend it.
Someone recently was mentioning, I can't remember who it was, another ultra runner that lives in like the Tampa St. Pete area said that they've got a place over there where they have a specialized training treadmill that does a negative. So it does a decline.
Yours
Yeah, so
goes
this one
up
goes
to
this will go
-15, right?
No, -6.
Oh, okay, mine goes -3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the -6 I would take off on, and I think the max speed you go is like 6 miles an hour or something for like safety or whatever, whoever's concerned about that, I guess. But you go 6 miles an hour at -6, and it puts a load on your quads. It's not like running down a mountain, but it's better than nothing. I mean, it's
Craig. He's been doing the downhill. I think.
Was it Craig?
I think so.
Might have been.
He's probably training. He's training for Western.
He's
States.
been doing a lot of treadmill climbs too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did a lot of weighted vest climbs on the treadmill.
So, real question, real talk. How many times did you shit in the woods?
0.
Shut up.
Nuh-uh.
0. So the first day was the biggest space between aid stations, and I couldn't consume a whole lot of food.
Yeah.
because of the heat, it was so hot. I don't think I got my first meal until I was in like 48 hours in or something. Or not 48, maybe 36 hours, and somewhere around there. It was well after the first day.
Wow.
Just because I couldn't really digest a whole lot. But yeah, after that, it was like from aid station to aid station. Yeah, I mean, my stomach did really, really well after the first day. And a lot of that's attributed to the slower speeds. It's not like you're running a 10-minute mile and, you're cramming all this food and stuff down out there. I mean, there's some people, don't get me wrong, there's some people out there that are doing that. Not me. Out there, I was running, much slower than that. So the food had time to digest just because I was going at such a slower pace that my stomach was able to digest.
When you say a slower pace, let's say, did you record the entire thing on
I did.
Strava's one run? So what was your average pace time for the entire race on your Strava?
8:43. I'm just shooting it up.
Any day, I'm guessing that you're going to be like 3 miles per hour. Be my guess.
Yeah, you're probably what, 14-minute miles, 13-minute miles?
No chance. No, there's a lot of. I'm trying to load it right now. It's not pulling up in here.
It's because there's so much data in there.
I think Kevin has put a voodoo on my Strava.
I actually had them deactivated before you got here.
Let's see. So Cocodona, 121 hours, 32 minutes. It's going to take a minute to load here for us.
It's literally one of those.
When the really long races, it's like,
There's
is
really
this going to
big
load? I
files.
don't know.
And we might have to get back to that question.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So actually end up running 271 miles too,
crap.
according to my watch. I mean, obviously there's quite a bit of play in that. So average pace was 26 minutes 53, 26:53.
Yeah.
Grade adjusted was 24:24. So there's a lot of downtime. So what happened after the first day too for me is, there was, because I'm not used to running on rocks, and as you run on rocks, your foot is moving all sorts of different directions.
Yeah.
I've never had heel blisters before. I've got 4 massive heel blisters.
They're still healing.
They're still healing. They're much better now, but I got to the point where it was like almost like half of a ping pong ball that was like attached to the side of my foot and on 4 different spots.
Yeah, I actually had that discussion because I got one not that long ago when we did the skunk ape run. And I know it was because I was wearing loose shoes, but also I was running on through the berm, which was an undulating type surface and caused me to run on the outside of my feet some. And apparently, talking to Dr. Olson, that's pretty common with people with the trail run, especially with elevation mountains, to get on the side of their feet like that and get heel blisters.
Yep.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but I mean, I get them on my toes and stuff. Usually that's from lack of lube or just whatever. You pop it, it's no big deal. You don't think about it. You tape it, it's done.
What kind of lube do you use?
I use Body Glide. I use anything. I'm not particular. I've used Body Glide, Salty Britches, Squirrel's Nut Butter.
Yeah.
Squirrel's Nut Butter was a sponsor out there, so every aid station I would just grab some and put it on my feet. But I'm not all that particular. But yeah, I mean, I got these blisters on the heels of my feet to the point where every aid station I would have to stop, untape them, drain them, retape them, and it got to the point where that was costing a significant
What were
amount of
you?
time.
What were they taped with?
KT tape or Leuko tape?
Yeah.
Just pop through the tape.
Yeah, there you go.
You just pop through the tape and it's fine.
Yeah.
Done it before. You just pop through the tape.
Good idea.
Damn it, Shae, where were you last week?
Well, because then when you're peeling off the tape, it's causing more damage.
More damage.
to it.
Yeah.
It's tearing away the roof.
The only thing that I was
of the
concerned
blister.
about is there's such a fine dust out there that anytime you take your socks off, your entire foot was covered in
Talcum powder.
red
Yeah.
red mess.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm already, poking the needle through it and that kind of stuff. So I was cleaning them quite a bit and probably spent more time cleaning them and retaping them, popping than I probably should have. Should have just wiped it and popped it and moved on. But like to the point where like every single aid station, they would like refill. Like, I mean, they would just expand again on both sides of my feet. And I've never had heel blister pain. Like every blister that I get, it's like, ow, that hurts. Let's move on.
Heel blisters are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, blood, was it
I've
blood,
had
like
one
blood in it, or was it just
One was blood, and then the other 3 were
that's
just
deep? That one's deep.
Yeah, we're just
Blood
brain.
one's
Yeah, the one that's. I mean, it looks pretty bad.
It's probably
right now.
still sore.
I won't stick my foot up here for you guys to see.
Well,
I mean,
look
we'll
at it.
probably
We'll look at it.
We wanna look
We
at it.
definitely want to see
it.
it.
Understood.
Yeah.
And if you've got any
nerds.
pictures,
Yeah.
we also
Yeah.
want to see those.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love
There's
it.
something wrong with us.
There definitely is something wrong with us. for sure.
Okay, I mean, we'll inspect later. But so yes, so I got to the point where I was getting I had so much blister issues that it was costing me a lot of sleep. And by the time I ended the race, I was in 3.5 hours worth of sleep. And then at this point, Jenna came. It's my girlfriend Jenna. She came Wednesday night. She was crewing me and stuff. So come, Thursday night. I think it was or Thursday, maybe it's Friday. I got to the point where I had such little sleep that I actually experienced what they call it, sleep deprived
hallucination?
cognitive
Yeah.
issues. To the point I couldn't. She's like, we saw another runner. He's like, what's the name of this aid station? It was called Walnut Canyon. I kept calling it Walmart Canyon.
Sounds a lot funner.
Yeah, exactly. But and it got to the point where it's like I was speaking she couldn't understand me. She's like, I don't know what you're saying.
He became Pentecostal and
She's like, I don't
Speaking
know.
in tongues.
She's like, I don't know what you're saying, and I couldn't untie my shoe, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
Any cool hallucinations?
yeah, a lot of cool ones.
a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. So a few of them.
Wait a minute, you can't just zip past that
Yeah,
and
you
not
guys,
give us
tell us
one
some good
example.
ones here.
I'll give you a whole bunch of them.
All right.
we
let's
want to
hear
hear
it.
one of the cool ones, at least one
So
of
this
the
is
cool
actually
ones.
the first time I ever hallucinate during the daytime. Usually it's a nighttime deal for me, and it's the stump turns into a bear or something, and it's not a big deal. You kind of figure it out. This time it was going into the second morning, I had 1 hour of sleep, and it was me, the guy that I was running with, and the pacer was actually behind us, but I was kind of leading the charge up Mingus Mountain, and I look up there, and I'm like, what is that? Look a little more, I'm like, it's a fox. I look back at my buddies and I'm like, hey, there's a fox. And they're like, no, there's not a fox. I'm like, what? And then about 5 minutes later, I'm walking and my eyes just start shutting. Like I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. So we took a dirt nap and then they kind of went away.
The military, we call that death.
Yeah, dirt nap equals death in my
Does it?
trail nap is usually what I call it.
Dirt nap is death.
Okay. So we get through that day, and then the next night, then actually really the next 2 nights, it was interesting because all the runners were kind of comparing the hallucinations. And it would be like, hey, see that log over there? Looks like a pickup truck. I see a black pickup truck, and it looks like there's somebody getting in the back, and you're like, you're right. That is a pickup truck. And then there was another runner. She's like, I try not to look at the side because all I see when I see the side is like the front of a row, row houses, in a city. I see the front doors out of my vision. She's like, there's a house there. And I'm like, huh, I think you're right. You gotta see what's going on. I would say the wildest one though was on the second to last night. We're walking down this dirt road, and we actually, me and the guy I was with, we see up ahead, probably 20, 30 yards. That looks like a Hot Wheels car that has been crashed. The kids drive around, it's been crashed, and it's been in a really bad accident. He's like, yeah, you're right. So we keep walking closer and closer. And I'm like, what is that? And I look, and it's because they require us to carry emergency gear with us, and part of that includes a space blanket, emergency bivvy, whatever you want to call it. And I look, and there's this emergency bivvy, the tinfoil you could see that was reflecting. And I'm like, wait, is that a bivvy? And then I look, I'm like, Davey, that's the guys with. I'm like, there's 4 feet down there. To this day, I don't know if it was real, if it was fake. If I think it was maybe a couple.
Yep.
In an emergency bivvy, rolled on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Summiting.
They summited Mingus Mountain, all right.
I'm arriving.
It was such a wild deal though, because it's also obviously the longest race I've ever been in. And it's almost like you see these Everest documentaries, and you're like, oh, there's a dead body over there. And you see it like off in the distance and you're like, yeah, there's dead bodies on Everest. It got at the point like the second to last night and the last night where you're walking and you're like, you just see people laying on the side of the road. You're like, I don't know if that dude's alive or dead, but I don't want to wake him up if he's alive and napping. Like there's just like random bodies on the side of the road. It was the wildest thing to me.
There were sweepers out there. We were watching their blue dots too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And of course, like I ended up doing that multiple times too. So I'm sure people thought the same thing about me, but I'm like, I don't know if they're live, dead. Like what's going on here? So.
Well,
wild.
we haven't heard any stories of all the bodies they've collected off of the mountain after the race. So
I think everybody survived as far as I know.
All right. So the real question, would you do it again?
No.
Is this a one and done thing?
That's a one and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a one and done. It's a one and done. There's a story that actually that they kind of shared on the live stream when I was coming. I don't know if you guys caught it, not to bring the mood down, but so basically when I got into trail running a number of years ago, I learned about trail running, did a few trail runs here and there. Always wanted to do an ultra, kind of kept putting it off more and more and more. Had a sister that was diagnosed with cancer. She passed away a short time later, but the last interaction that we had at the hospital was basically about living life intentionally because you never know it's going to end. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what propelled me into the ultra scene. It was 3 days after that, after she passed, that I ran my first 50K. And then a month after that, I came across the Cocodona live stream. Mm-hmm. So kind of everything to this point has been hey, I want to do Cocodona one day. I want to do Cocodona one day.
So did you dedicate this to your sister?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's your sister's name?
It's Brooke. It's Brooke, yeah. And I mean, again, I don't mean to somber everybody, the mood down, but that's kind of what got me into the trail, the ultra scene. Because, it's one of those things, there's so many things we want to do, we keep putting off more and more.
Everyone's got to have a why.
100%.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to have a why.
Live your life because the thing that is time is finite. Money's not finite.
100%, yep.
Your health, your fitness, time. Those are the 3 finite things, and you have to do something before those are gone.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's a saying, time is undefeated. Like you're going to lose. Like time is going to beat you. It's just a matter of you don't know when. So if you want, so in my case, I wanted to get into ultra running, and like 3 days after she passed, I did. A month later, I saw Cocodona. I'm like, how can I get to Cocodona? So that's kind of like the backstory. And that's the long way to answer your question. Is Cocodona was a multi-year pursuit for me.
It was a capstone event for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, I did long haul because that's kind of that's 100 miles is a heck of a long way.
It is, yeah.
Did it again because I wanted to prove to myself it wasn't a fluke. And then it's like, as I mentioned earlier, the last lap of long haul, I told my pacer, I'm doing Cocodona. How do I get there? I want to, and in my mind, I needed to run a 200 miler, which was across Florida. Did that. Now I did Cocodona, and that was kind of the peak of what I wanted to do when I got into the sport. Now as far as what's next and stuff, I mean, it's going to be a matter of like what comes out, and I have a lot of interest. I mean, Moab interests me. There's a race up in Canada called the Divide that interests me. It's 200.
You can come run some lowly little 50Ks with some of us fun people.
I mean, honestly, volunteering interests me. I haven't done a whole lot of volunteering because every
fun.
time that when I have free time, I train.
Mm-hmm.
We got some downtime now.
So I have downtime.
Little
Absolutely.
bit of downtime,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
It's off season.
that's exactly right. Yeah. It's time for you to get your Strava segments back.
That's it. Thank you. At least for a little while.
One of the things that I talked about, or that my friends Chris and Jada talked about, was the comeback to reality was very harsh for them after being just so disconnected. How did you feel when you were having that come back to normal world where it's fast paced and scary?
It was almost immediate for me, actually. So I crossed. So it was kind of cool because Aravaipa, they did I kind of just lucked out with the way I finished. I came off Eldon, came down through Buffalo Park, and I had cameras in my face, multiple cameras. They posted stuff about me. They shared basically everything I told them on the questionnaires, share my story. It was really cool because, you finish line, there's, I don't know, a dozen, 20 people there clapping, that kind of stuff. Take your picture, and it's like, you're done.
It's done.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this pursuit that you've had for years, that you've literally been moving for the past 5.5 days for, like it's over now. Mm-hmm. Then I remember like there's a chair there, and I'm like, I want to get off my feet. It's like sit there in the chair, and you kind of look around. There's like, there's just people mingling. My girlfriend went and get me a plate of breakfast that they had cooked or something. But for the most part, it's just like people just kind of mingling. It's like you finish. There was Ed Eddinghauser, the jester. He was sitting in a chair next to me, kind of gave me a fist bump, but we're just like sitting there, just like looking around, just taking it all in. Yeah. And then after that, it was got my plate of food. Had to get up out of that chair because that's kind of reserved for the finishers. When you finish, it's right there by the finish line. Got out of that chair, walked over to the table, and it was kind of like, this is, it's kind of over now. It's kind of, it's almost sad is what it is.
Like the post-race blues, or it hit you immediately?
Immediately, yeah. I mean, it's like you got your buckle, and like by that time my pack had been moved to the vehicle, so it's like I had my buckle, and it's like, I waited for a couple other finishers to congratulate them. There's a couple of Florida people that actually finished, one I think that finished behind me, one finished before me. A lot of Florida runners out there, which was great to see, but waited for them, went to the hotel, got a nap. Next morning, 4 a.m. on a flight back to Florida. Mm-hmm. And that was it. And then last week was I was kind of in a fog all week.
Ravenous? Going from ravenous to no appetite, or how are you with
I'm so hungry all the time. Yeah. I mean, I just ate, and I'll probably eat it again when I get home. But yeah, so hungry. But I mean, last week was more of a fog, just I think due to lack of sleep. Mm-hmm. I mean, I ended up with about 4.5 hours. I had 3.5 leading into the last night. Got an extra hour, and had about 4.5 hours the entire week, which was about half of what I wanted.
Oh my gosh!
Jesus.
I would have died.
Yeah,
You didn't trip in more than balls.
Oh boy!
How was the so race is over? How was the trip getting back to Florida?
difficult.
Oh, there's a story that I don't know.
No, but I could just imagine what it's like. So how'd that go?
It was difficult. I mean, we had like return the rental. We had to. Well, first of all, my girlfriend Jenna's just amazing because we have all these drop bags, and they're filled with everything from shoes to snacks to
a lot of gear,
random loot,
expensive stuff.
Yeah, I've got a lot of food, a lot of gear, like a lot of stuff in these stacks, and like I'm not the one to handle them. Like, but she got them all from the finish line area, and I was like sleeping in the hotel, and I guess she went through everything. I actually unpacked last week, and I'm like, all the Chewy stuff is organized. Well, all the Chewy stuff, all the medical stuff's organized with the medical stuff. I'm like, did you really go through that to organize everything? But it's super organized. She did all that while I was sleeping. And I got some In-N-Out burger, went back to sleep in the hotel. And after that, it was like, okay, now we got to go to Phoenix. Stay the night in Phoenix. Next morning we come home, or we fly home. So going through the airport, we had to like return the rental car. And I'm like, listen, we need to get there like 2 hours early. I'm going to be like the old guy on the right-hand side, walking like really, really, really slow. And that's basically all we did. It was just a long day.
Did anyone ask you, why are you walking so funny?
No, I did.
You didn't have the random opportunity to say, yeah, I just ran 250 miles.
No, I was waiting for it, but no. Actually, it's funny. There's a guy named Byron Roca. He's a Florida, I think he's from West Palm. And he ran. I actually saw him at TSA. And I look over, I'm like, why is that guy limping like that? And then I realized, like, oh, that's Byron. I know that guy. Like, he finished like an hour before me or something. Like,
This guy looks really fit, but man, he is walking all jacked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of, and one thing to say about like this race in general, like there's just a lot of like, and I don't say this to propel myself at all, but there's a lot of stud athletes that nobody knows about, at one time I was walking and like there was a group of 6 or 7 people within 100 yards of me. I think of those 6 or 7 people, there was 3 that had finished the Triple Crown. There was 3 Badwater finishers. There's like, and just like everyday people. There was also
people that aren't full-time athletes, people that have a job, people that are teachers, police officers,
real
firemen,
people doing
IT guys. You
can
name it.
Look around, like speaking of like an IT guy, there's what's his name, Walter Handloser. He holds the record for most hundreds in a calendar year right now.
Yeah, I know Ed is trying to compete with him. On
that. Well, he took Ed's record, and then now Ed's like trying to compete again. Yeah. Like I have all these incredible people around me, and I'm like,
Ed ran Skunk Ape 100.
Yeah, I remember seeing his name. Yeah. I'm like, why am I here? Like, it's very humbling to be amidst all these people that are just everyday people, but they're just like, if you go to Ultra Sign Up, I mean, just incredible. Athletes. And so many of them are like running races like last weekend too.
If it was any other sport and it was publicized, these would be millionaire athletes.
100%.
Okay, but think somebody looks up your name on Ultra Sign Up and they go, damn.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps. I've got 4 races on there. There's not, and their times aren't impressive or anything.
Exactly.
But yeah. No, I mean, it's a good point. But it's just, I mean, it's humbling to be able to say, hey, like, this sport is so incredible. You literally have people that have done phenomenal things. I mean, and they're everywhere around you, but you probably don't even know their names. You don't recognize them. Nobody knows who they are.
They live right in your city, and you never run with them.
Yeah. or you go to the doctor and they're like, oh, why did you go to the doctor for this? And it's like, oh yeah, I was getting some like anti-nausea because I was getting ready to do the Across Florida. And your doctor goes, oh, some guy in my neighborhood did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. And I was like, is his name Casey? She's like, yeah.
Who's it? Is it
Corey?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I know them very well. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, it's literally such an incredible sport. Like you have people doing insane stuff. I mean, and then you have different levels to it too. You have the front of the pack, you have the Mike McKnights, the Jeff Brownings, and I think those guys are absolutely phenomenal. But, like the guy that was pacing us, like he's a front to mid packer. He's like, I've never been in the back of the pack. I've never like experienced like having to chase cutoffs, because there was times where we got a little bit closer to the cutoffs than I wanted to.
Every single race for me, buddy.
Yeah. So he was saying, like, this is a completely different race. He's like, you guys, like,
it's pressure.
Yeah, he's like, up front, it's more of a speed, agility, athleticism. In the back, it's like pure grit. He's like, y'all are so much more gritty than the guys at the front. He's like, it's a completely different race.
You're fighting for your lives.
Right, exactly, yeah. I mean, there was times where usually it was 3.5 to 4 hours we were trying to beat the cutoffs. I would try to leave the aid station 3.5, 4 hours with a buffer. And then there was, as you get to the end, as you go over Mount Eldon, they can't make it an even cutoff all the way through, because Mount Eldon is going to take you more than 30 minutes a mile, which would be an even cutoff. So towards the end, it's like, we hit one aid station where a lot of people got cut, including Walter and his partner, a lot of other like just incredible runners. They got cut, and I left with like 30 minutes left before the cutoff. And that was like kind of, whoa.
That's close.
That's real close. Yeah. And that was mile, I think 180, 190. Like I'd gone that far. I'm like, this is really, really close.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then, we started moving a little faster, and then we eventually, I finished, I think 3 or 4 hours before the cutoff. Which was the goal for me, is to finish, completion. That's my only goal in that race.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, it's just, it's an incredible sport. I mean, that's an incredible course to be around people like that are just absolute studs, and you have no idea who they are.
So next month I get to go out to Western States and work at the Michigan Bluff Aid Station, working at the medical tent, working on feet. And, and I've heard that same thing from the people that have done that, like you're sitting here and you're helping someone that is an elite, like the best people that are famous in this sport are there,
right?
And I'm going to be out there I won't know a single one of them. I won't know, because I don't follow the sport that way.
Right.
So I'm going to be rubbing elbows with.
They're going to know you, Joe.
With famous people. They'll remember me, I'm sure.
Yeah. Hey, every time that you work on somebody's feet, you got to put a sticker on the bottom of their foot. Where's the Finish Podcast?
Just slap it on. But yeah, so you're right. There's so many incredible athletes out there just doing regular stuff in their day-to-day life, and they go out here and
there's a lot of incredible athletes right here too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they're all around us. I mean, it's just if in the Florida running scene is just insane too. I mean,
Florida is showing up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, all the big races, Florida's sending runners. And I think people are surprised every time to see our Florida runners show up. But it's such a strong trail running community here.
Yeah, I think it was cool too. When I was out at Cocodona, we like, hey, like, you're from Florida? Like, I'm from Florida, because they have little flags that on your state on the back. It's like, I'm from Florida too. Like, what's your name? And I met like so many people. I mean, I can't remember all of them, but I mean, Kevin Flieger was one. Derek Kirkman was another one. Byron Roca. There was Simone Valentine. There's a lot of like really cool people. Like, hey, like we kind of had a kind of a brotherhood, or whatever you want to call it, because like they're from Florida and I'm from Florida. It's like, we're not supposed to be on these mountains, but we are, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And of course, a lot of other people, like Florida guys, are out here like, what are y'all doing? Like,
we come to bring it.
That's right.
You're a long way from pub subs, guys.
That's right. And Florida had a good showing at Cocodona too. I think we only had 1 or 2 DNFs. But I think, we had a really good showing for for Flatlanders. So
Heck yeah. Well,
awesome.
looking forward to seeing what you have next. I know you're not making any plans right now, but hopefully you'll get on trail with us some. Maybe we can
just
share
not right
some
away.
miles.
Let me get my local legends back, and then you can run.
they'll expire in probably 60 days. So you can,
Okay.
There are some big races still coming up in the season, so if you want to get out there and volunteer, I go out there myself and I'm racing, I'm volunteering, so come along, man. We'd have
Yeah.
a great
no, I would love
time.
to. I would love to.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably done. I don't know if I'm done for the rest of the year, but I'm probably, in my head at least, unless something really, really stands out, I'm probably done for the rest of the year. So just kind of
Nice.
take it easy and run some trails and have some more fun with it. I mean, I've been pursuing Cocodona for years, and it's like, hey, let's take a step back.
Yeah.
And kind of regroup, wait till something speaks to me, and I'll train for that if something does. I mean, Moab and the Divide and stuff like that, it's not till 2025 anyhow.
So,
So if I do that.
for training, did you coach yourself or what? How'd you approach that?
Yeah, I coach myself.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but
It worked.
It worked.
It worked?
Yeah, it worked. I thought about getting a coach and stuff, but it's tough. Having somebody come in, because I've never had a coach for any of my running. Not that I suggest that at all. I think coaches help a lot of people, and I think most people in the sport should have coaches. But for me, it just kind of worked and kind of fit with my schedule. And once I started, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. With that said, there's a lot of stuff that I took from different podcasts and different videos, and there's a lot of information. The cool thing about the ultra running sport is people want to help other people.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there, so many good podcasts out there. Like, hey, this is what you can do.
There's only one really good podcast.
Well, there's one really, really good podcast, and the rest are just a little bit above average. So all the average ones, they have a lot of. There's a lot of tips and a lot of stuff out there that you can learn from.
This one's really good at helping you find the finish.
That's right. That's all that matters, though. Right? That's right. At the end of the day, for me, that's all that matters. As long as I get there before the cutoff, that's it. But yeah, I mean, I basically took bits and pieces of information from here and there. There's great. Jason Koop's got a great book out there, Ultra Running Essentials or whatever it's called. There's a lot of books.
Oh, that's that really thick book?
They're really thick.
Yeah.
A lot of scientific based like, data, that kind of stuff. So I kind of just combined everything. Said, hey, let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Nice.
And even still, when you get to that start line, you're like, I don't know if I did enough. And when I hit mile 2, I'm like, I really don't know if I did enough. But I also knew that like once I got through that first day, the first day is definitely the hardest in Cocodona. And once I got through the first day, it's like, okay, it's going to be better. Just not going to be easy, but it's going to be better. And that was kind of my approach to it. So
Nice.
What about lows? You have lots of roller coaster highs and lows mentally?
I thought you meant the hardware store.
Yeah, did you go to Lowe's?
that's actually the first place my mind went to. I'm like, Lowe's.
What about Lowe's?
I'm like, how's that
Yeah, what
play
about
into
Lowe's?
this?
Am I working on my
How many
house?
hallucinations of lows did you see?
I had a lot of, I had a few lows. Yeah. Generally it was, I guess every time it was sleep, it's because of sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
A lot of times if you get a low, you just eat some food and you kind of get moving again. But for me, it wasn't quite that easy of eat some more calories and you'll be happy again. It was like, we need an hour's worth of sleep, but you don't have an hour to give us right now because the cutoffs are coming in on us. So we got to the point where, basically the lowest low was probably that second last day, where like I had trouble getting my thoughts out of my mouth. Like nobody, like you're not making sense. I couldn't untie my shoe, that kind of stuff. So that was one of the things where like, hey, you go in the car, you take a 1 hour nap right now. We're going to figure out the rest. And basically for the rest of the race, I did every 4 miles, I got a 7-minute dirt nap. And that's what got me to the finish line is that 1 hour's worth of deep sleep, 7-minute dirt nap every 4 miles. And there I was. That's how it kind of...
A different kind of interval.
He was resurrected every
different
4 miles.
kind of interval, for sure. And
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus.
yeah, exactly.
Woo, we are speaking in tongues.
But then the last section too, we had a pacer stepped in that I wasn't, that she actually came to crew somebody or to pace somebody else. That runner broke her ankle the first day. Oh. So this was a pacer that had trained for this, and her name's Melissa out of Canada, and she got me up Mount Eldon and she was blaring EDM music,
I love it.
which I never listened to, by the way.
Oh,
Usually I'm like
You're speaking Shae's love language over here.
I'm like more of like a rock type guy when I run. But it got to the point where I'm like, I don't care what's playing. If I've ever heard it again, like I'm going to zone out. So she was like,
Are you going to give us your power playlist? Your power hike playlist?
I hate EDM. It's like the worst genre in music. Listening to the same beat for like 6 hours at a rave is just too music. music.
Let's go.
Okay, that's
That's
all
it,
I can
yeah.
play legally.
I hate ADM.
But yeah, that's what I listened to basically going up and over Mount Eldon. And it was funny too, because like we would take these dirt naps who would pass us. And then the next time they would see me is like, she's blaring EDM and I'm like blowing by them so fast. Like I'm not even, at this point, I'm not even acknowledging anybody because I'm like ready to get to the finish and we're moving pretty quick.
You're just trying to run away from the fucking music.
Yeah, exactly. And then I would take another dirt nap and then we do it all over again. But eventually I think I took 2 or 3 dirt naps and then we went all the way up Eldon and kind of didn't look back. And they're like, I don't know what they were thinking. They're like, look at this guy. This guy's wild. Like he's sleeping 1 minute, he's raving the next minute. Like what is going on?
He's a bipolar runner.
Yeah, exactly.
I just see you out there with glow sticks.
And I was just like so amped. So
No, you're getting ready to
This is Cocodona, not Javelina, buddy.
You're getting ready to take your nap, so you're like, okay, let me zip up my
I
little
zip up
glow
my-
sticks in here.
it's time.
And put it away.
Put my iPads down. And like, yeah, but that was how I went up and over Mount Eldon. Mount Eldon, that's another like incredible like mountain, like literally climbing to the point where like you're grabbing rocks and stuff.
Wow.
And that was different. Took a nap on Mount Eldon. Like luckily nobody passed me, but they would have like stepped over me. But
Was
yeah,
it? Did the cold weather get really cold at night?
they say it did.
Oh, okay.
I don't
He
know.
was too numb to feel it.
Everything hurt Shae. He didn't know.
You know, it's funny at the finish. I'm like, hey, it wasn't that cold. They're like, well, it was 31 degrees. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it was cold. But by that point, I was like, kind of so I don't know if it was adrenaline or just numbness or whatever you want to call it. But during the first couple nights, it got pretty chilly. They
It's called shock.
yeah,
Not even
exactly.
in shock.
Yeah, exactly. First couple nights it got a little chilly, but towards the end, though, I mean, it got much colder. But at that point, I don't know. I guess I didn't feel it.
Wild.
Doesn't matter. You got it done.
Yeah, it was a wild week. It was a memory that I'll have for the rest of my life. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why we do this stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're certainly excited to see what you have in store, and we'd love to get some miles with you at some point if you have
When
us.
you're recovered.
Yeah.
When you're recovered, not today.
Let these blisters go away and I'll be good.
Yeah.
I want you to do it right now where you're not recovered so that I can stay with you. But we are going to be hosting some more WTF group runs. So, and we're planning on doing some in your neck of the woods over on the other side of the Santos Trail System. I think the next one we'll probably put together is going to be from Ross Prairie over to the Pruitt Trailhead and back.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe you can come out and join us on one of our little group runs.
For
or
sure.
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be there. That'd be awesome.
Thank you so much for coming, Casey. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. That's a blast.
Yeah. All right. You can go ahead and check us out on our website, www.where'sthefinishpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook, throw a review our way. Get in touch with us. Tell us, fun, horrible trail stories. We'd love to share those. And
Let's go.